Arden Zwelling and Ben Nicholson-Smith here for a little Blue Jays off day chat. And Ben, it's all doom and gloom with the Blue Jays right now, man. They've lost 4 in a row, 5 of their last 6, 7 of their last 9. What do you make of this? Can't overreact. It's only a week in a 6-month season, but how do you think Blue Jays fans should be looking at the struggles of this team recently?
Well, it's been rough for sure. It's been the roughest stretch of the season for the Jays. I think at the same time, you have to be allowed to lose some games to a team as good as the Yankees. And I hate to say it for Blue Jays fans, but the Yankees are a very good team. So you're not going to go undefeated. You're not going to just continue steamrolling everybody in the league. So to me, there are some small concerns. And to me, this is lapses in attention on the bases. They're making too many outs on the bases. They're giving away too many innings that way. So there needs to be some focus, and as George Springer said, a bit more urgency. But the talent on this team is undeniable. To me, Arden, when I look at this group moving forward, I still think the Blue Jays will win more games than any American League team from this point on, and they're above 500 right now. So as I look at this Blue Jays team, sharpen it up, tighten it up, play with some more focus, but they're in a great spot with a lot of talent on this roster.
Yeah, it's a bad week. You could pick out any season from MLB history, and every team has had a bad week. No team is just incredible pole to pole. And I think, if anything, the Blue Jays are just regressing a little bit to their run differential, right? Earlier in the season, when the Blue Jays were like 10-3 in one-run games and winning all these squeakers, we would come on here and come on Add Letters and say, this probably isn't sustainable. Like, this team's getting pretty lucky. And you look at it now, you mentioned it. They're above 500. They're 17-15 with a negative 13 run differential. If anything, they still have been lucky. The Chicago Cubs have a negative 13 run differential. They're like 11-9. So you consider that with, as you said, the tough competition. And it's not only the Yankees, which the Blue Jays have played 3 series against now, it's 2 series against the Astros. Cleveland, I know a lot of people don't give them credit, but that's a
Yeah.
top 3 MLB offense right there. And then you get the Rays this weekend as well. So I just think that, like, it's a schedule thing, it's a strength of competition thing. It's a playing like do or die playoff style high leverage baseball for the first 3, 4, 5 weeks of the season thing. That takes a toll. Like, there's a tax to be paid there. It's not only the 30 games in 31 days, it's the intensity and the pressure of those games. So I think that's why you're starting to see some of those mental errors that you mentioned, because I think that just physically the team is a little bit run down now from its schedule, but also mentally, just from how grueling and intense a lot of that competition was.
Right. And I think at this point, what's done is done. Those wins have been banked, those losses have been lost. There's really not a whole lot of point in going back. Really, you have to look ahead and see a schedule that still has all of your games against the Orioles. You still have the Reds next weekend. You still have a lot of vulnerable teams that you can potentially pick on. And so, this roster, very good as it stands now, not perfect. I still think they need more relief. I still think we're going to be talking about left-handed power bats at the trade deadline to augment this offense, but they're a very good team. And so, as they do head into Tampa for this weekend series, I know there's like this House of Horrors label. I know that the Trop hasn't always been kind to the Blue Jays, but it's a totally different team. This is not Aaron Sanchez and Ryan Goins. This is not Aaron Hill and Marco Scutaro. Bo Bichette doesn't care about that. Vlad Guerrero Jr. doesn't care about that. They are their own team. They have Kevin Gausman and Alek Manoah going to these 3 games. To me, that's actually a good series that the Jays should be excited about.
And I just think the numbers that they're running is in scoring position that I don't need to cite for anybody. Everybody knows them. Those are eventually going to come back around. If they don't, the Blue Jays are just going to be the worst team with runners in scoring position in the
Yeah.
history of baseball. And if that happened, okay, all right about that. That's pretty interesting, right? But I really don't think that's going to happen. I think that just like the Blue Jays are regressing to their run differential right now, they're going to have positive regression to their runners and scoring position numbers, because you look at the batting average and balls in play and the hard hit rate and the fly ball contact they're generating in those spots. It just can't continue the way that it has. The one thing I think the Blue Jays do have some control over that they can turn around, it's just getting on a starting pitcher early when they have the opportunity. You look at Jamison Tyus Taillon the other day. The Blue Jays had the bases loaded against him with nobody out, and they came away with only one run from that spot. It's not the first time that we've seen the Blue Jays get a starter on the ropes early in a game and fail to take advantage. Like, that is a spot where you really need to come through with a quick strike and put your just foot on the throat of an opposition starter there. So if the Blue Jays get that opportunity early in this Rays series, they really need to capitalize.
A nice little Tyler Heineman 3-run double to really get things going in the opposite direction.
We'll see. 1 week in a 6-month season, plenty more to come from the Toronto Blue Jays as they head to St. Pete this weekend.